Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are doing great. I am Neha Rajvanshi and I welcome you all in today's class, that is English class of class 9th. So students, we have started reading with our chapter number 4 from the book Moments. The name of the chapter is In the Kingdom of Fools. So in this chapter we were reading about one kingdom where the king and the minister, they both are idiots, they both are fools. And in the previous video we have read about the circle of justice. We have read that this circle of justice, it started with the merchant and finally it ended on the same merchant only, because it was the same merchant whose father gave the order to the goldsmith to finish his order first, right? So this was the circle of justice, and now according to the king, the merchant, he is the real culprit, he is the real criminal. But now there is again one new problem, because according to the minister, that merchant, he is very thin, he is too thin that he cannot be executed properly with that stake. So now the foolish king, he gave one new order, and according to that order, he just wanted to have a fat man who would be fat enough that he would be fit to that stake. Okay, so now this is the new order given by that foolish king. So now what will happen next, we will come to know in today's video, and we will complete reading with this chapter in this video. So now let's continue, let's begin. The servants were immediately sent all over the town looking for a man who would fit the stake, and their eyes fell on the disciple who had fattened himself for months on bananas and rice and wheat and ghee. So now all the servants, all the agents of the king, they were immediately sent all over the town. Why? Because according to the order given by the king, they were looking for a man, they were looking for a fat man who would fit the stake, and finally their eyes fell on the disciple. Finally they saw that student of the guru. And why? Because now he had fattened himself for months on bananas and rice and wheat and ghee. So this thing we have read earlier in the chapter, that this disciple, this student, he stayed in that kingdom only because of this thing, that food was very much cheap in that kingdom, and he was actually very much fond of good and cheap food. And we have also read this thing, that because of his habit, now he was very much fat, just like a roadside bull. So now the servants of the king who were looking for a fat man, finally they found this disciple, because really he was very much fat and he had fattened himself, because for so many months he was having bananas, rice, wheat and ghee. What have I done wrong? I am innocent. I am a sannyasi, he cried. So when the servants of the king, when they arrested that disciple, when they caught that student, so now he was crying and he was saying that what have I done wrong? What is my mistake? What is my fault? Just tell me. I am innocent. I am a sannyasi. Why are you arresting me? So that disciple, he was actually having no clue that what is the reason why the servants, they were arresting him. That may be true, but it's the royal decree that we should find a man fat enough to fit the stake, they said. So now the servants, they were having this reply, they were having this answer, and they said that yeah, that may be true, that yes, you are innocent, you are sannyasi, so this is true, but according to the royal decree, decree means order, so they said that this is the royal order, this is the order given by the king himself, that we should find a man who is fat enough to fit the stake. Okay, so now we can say what is the mistake of that disciple. His mistake was that he didn't listen the wise word of his guru, he stayed in that foolish kingdom only. And one more mistake was that he was so fat. Okay, and because of this, now finally the servants, they arrested him and carried him to the place of execution. And finally the servants, they carried him to that place of execution. He remembered his wise guru's words. So now this time that disciple, that student, now finally he remembered his guru, now finally he remembered the wise word, or we can say the wise advice that was given by his guru. And what was the advice? Let's see. This is a city of fools, you don't know what they will do next. So these are the wise words, this is the wise advice that was given by the guru earlier. And the guru said that this is a city of fools and you don't know what they will do next. So this was the reason that Guru, he said that this is a place not for us, because this is a kingdom of fools and the company of fools, company of idiots is very much dangerous. And now finally the disciple, the student, he realized the importance of these words. While he was waiting for death, he prayed to his Guru in his heart, asking him to hear his cry wherever he was. So now the disciple, he is very much disappointed and he was regretting that why he didn't listen to his Guru. So when he was waiting for death, then he prayed to his Guru in his heart and he asked him to hear his cry wherever he was. So he was having a deep regret and he was remembering his Guru. He was praying for his Guru with a real heart. Okay. The Guru saw everything in a vision. He had magic powers. He could see far and he could see the future as he could see the present and the past. So the disciple, he was waiting for his death and he was praying to his Guru, okay, and he was regretting at the same time. And the Guru, he saw everything in a vision. How? Because the Guru, he was having some magical powers, and with the help of that power, the Guru was able to see everything. He was able to see all the things that are very far. He was able to see the future and he was able to see the past and the present. So Guru, he was actually a very wise man and he was having so many magical powers, and with the help of those powers he was able to see anything. So when the disciple, he was praying, he was doing a true prayer to his Guru. So Guru, he was able to see, he was able to hear that prayer. He arrived at once to save his disciple who had got himself into such a scrape through love of food. And when the Guru, when he saw that his disciple, his student, he is in such a great difficulty, he is there in such a big problem, okay, so at that time immediately he arrived to save his disciple. He arrived to save his student who had got himself into such a scrape means difficulty, or we can say problem. And why this disciple, he was in this great problem? Because of his love of food. So now finally the Guru, he arrived, he came to save his disciple because he knew that his disciple is innocent, right? Only mistake is that he is having a deep love for food, okay. So now Guru is there to save his disciple, to save his student. As soon as he arrived, he scolded the disciple and told him something in a whisper. So now the Guru is there, and as soon as the Guru arrived there at that place of execution, so first of all Guru, he scolded the disciple. Why? Because obviously Guru is angry with the disciple, because Guru, he actually gave the advice, but disciple, he didn't listen to his Guru, and now he is there in such a big problem. So first of all Guru, he scolded his student, and then Guru, he told him something in a whisper. Whisper means in a low voice, okay. Then he went to the king and addressed him. Oh wisest of kings, who is greater, the Guru or the disciple? So now the Guru, he is having some plans, okay. So first of all he shared that plan with his disciple, because he told something in his ears in a very low voice. So he shared his plan with the disciple, with the student. After then the Guru, he went to the king and then he addressed the king and he said, oh wisest of king, just tell me who is greater, the Guru is greater or the student or the disciple is greater than the Guru? So the Guru is very wise and he knew that king is a foolish king, he is an idiot and he is having some plan with him. So according to the plan, he went to the king and he asked this question, that who is greater, Guru is greater or the student is greater? Of course the Guru, no doubt about it, why do you ask? So now the foolish king, he is answering, he is saying that of course the Guru is greater, no doubt in this, that who is greater, of course Guru is greater. Why are you asking this? Why are you having this strange question? Then put me to the stake first, put my disciple to death after me. So now Guru is saying that okay, if you are convinced with this thing that Guru is greater than disciple, then put me to the stake first, put my disciple to death after me. So this is something very strange. Why Guru he wanted to die, but actually this is the plan of the Guru, and according to the plan the Guru he was saying this thing ki just put me to the stake first and put my disciple to death after me. When the disciple heard this, he understood and began to clamor, me first, you brought me here first, put me to death first, not him. And when the disciple, when the student, when he heard this thing that what his Guru just said, so he understood the entire plan and he began to clamor. So what clamor means? Clamor means to demand something in a loud way. So now that disciple, he was demanding, he was shouting in a very loud way, and he was saying, no, me first. Next he said that you brought me here first, so put me to death first, not him. So now we can see here that both the Guru and the disciple, they wanted to die first, okay, and they are actually fighting over this matter. They are arguing and both wanted to die first. The Guru and the disciple now got into a fight about who should go first. So now there was a fight between the Guru and the disciple, and why? Because they both wanted to die first. So they were fighting over this matter that who should go first, who should die first. The king was puzzled by this behavior. So obviously the king, the foolish king, he was very much puzzled, he was very much confused that what's wrong, what's going on, why the Guru and disciple they wanted to die first, and why Guru is there, why Guru is wanted to die. So finally he asked the Guru, why do you want to die? We chose him because we needed a fat man for the stake. So finally the foolish king he asked the Guru and he said that why do you want to die, what's wrong with you, why you want to die? We chose him, we chose your disciple because we needed a fat man for the stake. So king is saying that we know that your disciple is also innocent, but we chose him because we needed a fat man, okay, and your disciple obviously he is a fat man, so we chose him. But why you want to die, what is the matter? You shouldn't ask me such questions. Put me to death first, replied the Guru. So what is the reply? What is the response of the Guru? The Guru said that you shouldn't ask me such questions. Just put me to death first. I am not supposed to give any answer to your question. Just put me to death first. Why? There is some mystery here. As a wise man, you must make me understand. So now the king, he is having some suspense that some mystery is there, something is wrong here, why the Guru he wanted to die. So now the king wanted to know each and everything. So he is saying why there is some mystery here. Mystery means suspense, thriller or surprise. So king is saying just tell me what is the mystery, what is the thing, what's wrong, why you wanted to die. Next he said that as a wise man you must make me understand, just tell me what is the matter. Will you promise to put me to death if I tell you? Asked the Guru. So now the Guru is saying that okay, I will tell you the reason that why I wanted to die first, but just promise that you will put me to death first if I will tell you the reason. So in this picture we all can see here, he is the king, he is the minister, they both are foolish, they both are idiots, and here is the Guru, the wise man, and here is the disciple, right? So Guru and disciple, they are fighting over this matter that who should die first, and king is very much puzzled. He just trying to understand that what's the matter, and finally the Guru he is saying that okay, I will tell you, but just promise that after listening the entire matter you will put me to death first. The king gave him his solemn word. So now the king he actually wanted to know that what is the reason why the Guru he wanted to die. So he actually gave him his solemn word. Solemn means serious. So the king he promised that okay, just tell me and I promise that I will put you to death first. The Guru took him aside out of the servant's earshot and whispered to him. So now Guru he is ready to tell everything to the king. So for that said to the Guru, he took the foolish king aside to a corner out of the servants' earshot, so that all the servants who are present there, they won't be able to listen. Okay, and then finally the Guru, he whispered to him, he told something in a very low voice. And what did he say? So he said that, do you know why we want to die right now? The two of us, we have been all over the world, but we have never found a city like this or a king like you. So this is the plan of the Guru, and according to the plan, the Guru is saying that, okay, you actually wanted to know the reason that why we both want to die. So he is saying that, okay, do you know why we want to die right now? The two of us, we both want to die first. So what is the reason? The reason is that we have been all over the world, but we have never found a city like this, and we have never find a king like you. So he is actually praising the king, he is actually praising the kingdom here. That stake is the stake of the God of justice. It's new. It has never had a criminal on it. Next, the Guru is saying that, you know, that stake that you wanted to, you know, kill my disciple with. So that stake is the stake of a God of justice. Why? Because that stake is a new one and it has never had a criminal on it. So this is a new stake. So this is the stake of the God of justice himself, and whoever dies on it first will be reborn as the king of this court, and whoever goes next, he will be the future minister of this country. So the Guru, he said that, you know, we are fighting that, you know, who should die first, because whoever dies on it first, he will reborn in his next birth, he will be the king of this country, and the person whoever goes next, whoever dies second, he will be the future minister, he will reborn in his next birth, he will be the future minister of this country. So the Guru, he said that this is the mystery, and this is the reason we both are fighting, because we both want to be the king of this kingdom. So we both want to die first, and this is the reason we are fighting over this matter, that who should die first, because whoever the person will die first in his next birth, he will be the king, and whoever will die second, he will be the minister of this empire, of this kingdom. We are sick of our ascetic life. Next, the Guru, he told one more lie, and he saying that we both are fighting, we both want to be the king, because we are sick, we are fed up of our life that is ascetic. Ascetic means religious, or we can say without any pleasure. So he is saying that I am Guru, I am sannyasi, he is also sannyasi, and now we are fed up with this life and we want to enjoy our life. So in our next birth, we both want to be the king, and this is the reason we are fighting over this matter. It would be nice to enjoy ourselves as king and minister for a while. Next, Guru is saying that, you know, in this birth we are sannyasis, we are having no enjoyment in our life, we are having no pleasures in our life. So we both want that in our next birth we should enjoy our life as king and minister. Now keep your word, my lord, and put us to death. Me first, remember. And after telling this story, finally the Guru, he is saying that, okay, now as promised, I have told you everything, so now it's your time to keep your word and just put me to death, and first put me death first as you promised me. Okay, so now Guru, he told so many lies to that foolish king, and now he is saying that as promised, I have told you everything, and now it's your turn to keep your words, it's your turn to keep your promise, so just put me to death first. The king was now thrown into deep thought. So after listening this story, the king, now he was in deep thought, now he was thinking so many things, now there were so many things in his mind. He didn't want to lose the kingdom to someone else in the next round of life, because he was the king, and you know, he just wanted to be the king in all his births, and he didn't want to lose the kingdom to someone else in the next round of life, or we can say in the next birth. Okay, so the king, he just wanted to be the king only of that kingdom in his next birth also. So now he was in deep thought, now he was thinking so much things. He needed time, and to decide everything he actually needed some time. So he ordered the execution postponed to the next day and talked in secret with his minister. So the foolish king, he actually wanted some time because now he was completely in the trap of the guru. Okay, so this was the plan of the guru. He told so many lies to the king, and that foolish king, he has fallen into that trap of the guru. So now he wanted to decide all the things again, and for that he needed some time. So he ordered the execution postponed to the next day, and after that he started to start a discussion in secret with his minister, and minister is also a foolish person. So now both the king and the minister, they were discussing that what should they do next. It's not right for us to give over the kingdom to others in the next life. Let's go on the stake ourselves and we will be reborn as king and minister again. And after a lot of discussion, finally the foolish king and the foolish minister, they came on to this conclusion, and they decided that it's not right for us to give over the kingdom to others in the next life. So the king, he is very much convinced with the story told by the guru that who will die first with that stake, he will be the king of this kingdom, and the second person who will die, that will be the minister. So the king, he is very much convinced with this story. So he is saying that it's not right for us that we will give over the kingdom to others in the next life. So for that let's go to the stake ourselves and we will be reborn as king and minister again. So now the foolish king, this is the plan of the foolish king. So now he is saying that अगर वो जो गुरु हैं और जो डिसाइपल हैं, अगर वो उस स्टेक के थ्रू मर जाएंगे, then they will be the king and the minister in the next birth. So what is the better for us? The better thing is that हम दोनों ही उस स्टेक के थ्रू मर जाते हैं, so that in the next life again we will be the king and the minister of this kingdom. Holy man, do not tell lies, he said, and the minister agreed. And finally the king said that holy man, do not tell lies. So he was the guru, he was a sannyasi, and the king was saying that sannyasis never tell lies. So obviously he is speaking the truth, and the minister, he also agreed to that foolish king. So he told the executioners, we will send the criminals tonight. So after this decision, after this a lot of discussion, finally the king, he told the executioners that we will send the criminals tonight. When the first man comes to you, put him to death first, then do the same to the second man. Those are my orders, don't make any mistake. And now the king, he was giving one more order to the executioners, and this time he said that we will send the criminals tonight only, and when the first man comes to you, just put him to death first, right? And then do the same to the second man. So the king said that we will send two criminals. So when the first criminal will come to you, just put him to death first, and when the second man will be there, so just put him to death also. And this is the order, and don't make any mistake. That night the king and his minister went secretly to the prison, released the guru and the disciple, disguised themselves as the two, and as arranged beforehand with loyal servants, were taken to the stake and promptly executed. So that night that foolish king and that foolish minister, what did they do? First of all, they went secretly to the prison in which guru and his disciple was there. So then they released the guru and the disciple. After that they disguised themselves as the two, okay, the king and the minister, they disguised themselves as guru and the disciple, and as arranged beforehand with loyal servants. और उन्होंने इससे पहले जो उनके loyal servants थे उनके साथ भी उन्होंने चीज़ डिस्कस कर ली थी. So with the help of the loyal servants, they were taken to the stake, and very promptly means immediately, they were executed. They they were killed with that stake. So students, in this picture you all can see he is the real guru and this is the disciple, and here king and minister, and now they are disguised according to the guru and disciple. Okay, so now guru and disciple, they are free, and the king and the minister, they were killed with that stake. Why? Because king, he was actually very foolish person and he believed on the story that was told by the guru. When the bodies were taken down to be thrown to crows and vultures, the people panicked. So after जब king और जो उनके minister हैं, जब the both are killed. So when the bodies of both kings and the minister, they were taken down to thrown to crows and vultures. So again, this was the custom of that kingdom, that empire, that after the execution, the dead body of the criminals, they were thrown to crows and vultures. So in this picture we can see vultures, it's a kind of bird. So this, according to the system, according to the tradition, the dead bodies were thrown to crows and vultures. So when the dead bodies came there, then all the people, they saw that he is the king and he is the minister. The dead bodies that were there, the dead bodies were of king and the minister. So all the people, they panicked. They were so much worried that what's wrong, what happened to them. They saw before them the dead bodies of the king and the minister. The city was in confusion. So now the entire city, all the people, all the citizens, they were in great confusion that what is this, why this happened, why the king and the minister, they are dead in front of them. All night they mourned and discussed the future of the kingdom. So they were so confused, they were so much puzzled, okay, and they were unable to understand anything, and all night they just mourned. Mourn means they were crying because of the grief, because of the sadness, and they were discussing about the future of the kingdom, that now what will happen to our kingdom, now who will be the king, who will be the minister, and without king, without minister, there is no future of our kingdom. So they were discussing like these things. Some people suddenly thought of the guru and the disciple and caught up with them as they were preparing to leave town unnoticed. So now when all the people of the empire, they were discussing about the future of the kingdom, future of the empire, then some of the people suddenly they thought about the guru and the disciple, and finally they caught with them as they were preparing to leave town unnoticed. So now when guru and disciple, they were safe, they were free, so guru and disciple, they were preparing to leave that town unnoticed without telling anyone. But then some of the people, they just thought about them and they caught both the guru and the disciple. We people need a king and a minister, said someone. And now when the guru and the disciple, they both are there in front of the citizen of that kingdom, so now some people, they said that we need one king and one minister for our kingdom, because there is no king, there is no minister, and without king there is no future of our kingdom. So definitely we need one king, we need one minister for our kingdom. Others agreed, and all the people, they were also agreed with this thing. They begged the guru and the disciple to be their king and their minister. And after that, all the people, they begged, they requested the guru and the disciple for what? To be the next king and the next minister of that kingdom. So now all the people, as there was no king, there was no minister in that kingdom, so all the people, they just caught the guru and the disciple, and they knew that guru is a very wise man, okay. So they were requesting to the guru and the disciple, why? To be their king and to be their minister. It didn't take many arguments to persuade the disciple, but it took longer to persuade the guru. So what persuade means? It means to convince. So now when all the people, they were requesting, they were begging, right, to the guru and the disciple to be the king and the minister. So now writer is saying that it didn't take many arguments to convince the disciple, because the student, he was ready to be the minister, but yes, to persuade the guru, to convince the guru, all the citizens, decisions, they had to take a lot of efforts, and after a lot of efforts only, finally the Guru, he was agreed to this thing that okay, he will be the king of that kingdom. They finally agreed to rule the kingdom of the foolish king and the silly minister on the condition that they could change all the old laws. So finally both the Guru and the disciple, they were agreed that okay, they will be the king, they will be the minister of that kingdom, they will rule that kingdom, the kingdom of the fools. But finally they were having one condition, and what was that condition? The condition was that they would change all the old laws, okay, all the foolish laws, or we can say everything that was so foolish, all the system that was so foolish and practical. So they will change all the systems, all the old laws. From then on, night would again be night and day would again be day, and you could get nothing for a dudu. So finally all the people, they agreed to follow the condition, they agreed to accept the condition of the Guru and the disciple. So finally the Guru became the king and the disciple, he became the minister of that kingdom, and they changed all the earlier system, they were so foolish, and finally now their night was the night and day was regarded as a daytime. And one more change was there, because now you could not get nothing for a dudu, because earlier we have read in the chapter that all the things they cost the same, it was one dudu, but this system was also changed now, and now it became like any other place, and now that kingdom was a normal kingdom, a very ordinary kingdom, just like any other kingdom, just like any other place. Okay, so students, the chapter ends here. We have completed reading the chapter. It's a very interesting, very funny chapter, but yes, it is having a very good message. And what is the message? The message is, that the company of idiots, the company of foolish men is never ever a good idea, and company actually matters, because जो foolish लोग होते हैं, you can't predict that what can they do next, what can they say next. So it's better to keep away with the foolish people, to keep away with the idiots people, and only wise men are able to handle the idiots. Okay, so company actually matters. So I hope the chapter is clear to you all, and in the next video we will see the comprehension part, we will solve the questions. So see you in the next video. Thank you.